Hello guys, this is Avcoor with the second part of this banner review, and I must say that there's a question I have, and I'm going to throw it out at you about Zack, and this is the question I'm going to throw at you. How are they going to punish us for not summoning for this character and his weapon? I have my own theory, and I'll share with you at the end of what I think they're going to punish us for not having this weapon and this armor set. But the reason for this is, I mean, aesthetically, I think this is the better looking costume. Honestly, I think it looks better than Cloud's costume. Cloud's costume looks all right, but this one is very, very appealing. I think they've done a really good job with Zack's costumes. So let's get into Zenogre armor. So they have boost physical ability potency, which is actually really good for the new Arcanum sets. You want to see that as opposed to physical attack because this actually goes a lot longer. So this will actually get you into the 2 bin, which is really good. And then you have Levin Blade Arcanum, which gives you physical ability damage plus 35%, which is extraordinarily exceptional. So Zenogre armor as a costume is pretty stacked. That's not the problem. The problem is Cloud actually has Levin Blade Arcanum as well. Although he does not have boost physical ability potency, I have a Cloud with the costume and the Murasame at OB10. So why would I invest in the Zenogre Blade and armor set? That's what I'm asking here. Stat wise, it's desirable. Stat wise, I guess the devs are trying to make us want this weapon because the damage output is by far superior to whatever Cloud can do. Because you're dealing 520% physical lightning damage, and when your HP is above 70% or more, you're doing 1.2 damage, which is a multiplier. So, from what I think, this is my opinion. I don't think you should really invest too much in this weapon because even when you do the multiplications, so you're doing 624% damage. So boost attack plus 20 at level 120 is nothing to sneeze at, and the boost lightning potency is nothing to sneeze at as well. So these are really good. I have Cloud, so why would I want this? So when you get to OB6, you're looking at 611 physical attack. The heal is a little lower than expected, but he is a DPS, so that's just nitpicking. But you notice that the boost lightning potency actually goes up really high. So your boost attack is at level 4, which is not bad, but the boost lightning potential is actually at level 4 as well. That's really good. So when you're looking at 780 attack, you do the multiplications on that, and you're doing 936. That's really good at OB6. In fact, the stats that he has at OB6 are pretty solid, almost close to what Cloud has at OB10. So this is where stuff gets really nuts. He gets boost lightning potency at 39 points, which is level 5, and just with the sub weapons alone, I can take this to 100 based on this weapon. So that's really insane. So if you do 940 times 1, you're doing 1,128 physical damage. So this dude's hitting like a truck. Albeit his physical attack isn't as high as Cloud's counter weapon, so to speak. So it's not as high. I wish it were. But the boost lightning potency is actually really good. And boost physical attack 31 points in exchange for the 39 points of boost lightning potency is showing that the devs are learning again that there are ways to increase your physical attack now. So if you add another sub weapon, he'll easily get to level 7 if you have a strong account. So that's not the problem. I mean, In fact, this weapon, for all intensive purposes, is superior to Murasame. Even raw stats, it's superior to Murasame. Damage output is superior to Murasame, but I already have a Murasame at OB10, so excuse me. Why would I want this weapon? And of course, you have physical attack boost, pretty much like Murasame, and then you have Sigil boost X, where Murasame is triangle. So I'm just not seeing why I would invest in this weapon. I mean, it hits harder than Murasame, but I already have Murasame. Why don't I just wait for the limit break banner to come in September? Why would I even bother with this? So here's my thought, and I'll end the video afterward. But when you go to solo content, you go to dungeons, you go to battle tower, and to me, this is where things get kind of dicey because in Cerulean Tower there is no cloud. So if you wanted a physical lightning damage dealer, you couldn't use cloud. So what happens with the next 30 floors? Will we get Leviathan in Cerulean Tower and you have Yuffie who can debuff, who can breach lightning resistance, but you don't have cloud here. So will they punish us for not having Zenoga armor and weapon? And when it's time to actually take on a boss, which probably might be Leviathan, you would really like to have Zack, right? Because Leviathan is weak versus physical attack. That's why we use Cloud against Leviathan. A lot of Leviathan clears had Cloud in it. So in my mind, in my opinion, I think they're going to punish us in Tower. They're going to force us to face an enemy that is weak versus lightning physical damage. And if you do not have Zenoga armor, then you are pretty much screwed. Like in Amber Tower, we had a Freet, right? But there was no Sephiroth there, and there's no Lucia there, right? So there's no Lucia there. So you relied on Cloud and his limit break costume. So here we had Shiva. So there is no Cloud, and we relied on Zack and his limit break fire set in order to clear Cerulean Tower because Shiva's the boss there. So in Emerald Tower, we had Ramu, and you relied on Glenn and his limit break costume in order to clear Ramu because he had lightning DP, he had water DPS. So in my opinion, they're going to punish us in tower. That is my feeling that's coming. So when you look at this costume, realize that there are ways for the devs in order to make us want to have certain equipment and certain weapons. So I may, for the heck of it, just get a one-off of Zenogar Blade just to have a lightning DPS weapon because you don't know if we will have that because they've done it already in Tower. So remember that. I just want you to take this video with a grain of salt because if you did not have the limit break costume and weapons, then those three towers were a lot harder than it would be if you had them. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, I like the community here. Thank you for watching. But let me know your thoughts on this because that's something that I'm kind of scared of because I looked at it and I saw that. So if you're seeing that pattern too, just let me know. But like, share, subscribe, and if you think that it's a skip, let me know. If you don't think it's a skip, let me know. But anyways, have a safe trip and laters.